Well, hello there, and welcome to the Dassem Show, episode 25. Finally back. And yeah, I don't know where to start. As you can see, I'm doing a battle in the Borsig because I wanted to see how it acts after its recent nerf, and we'll get back to that. Been a very long time since I last published a video, or at least anything with voiceover. And the reason is there are several reasons. First of all, I got a new job, so I started working as a teacher, 4th grade teacher, and I'm been so busy trying to get the hang of that new job. Get the hang of it? No, that's not the right way to put it. To learn all the ins and outs of that particular class, that particular school. Lots of new things to learn. So I've been very busy and I've been very tired. In addition, a while back I suffered a catastrophic hard drive failure on my desktop computer, which I'm using for editing. And that was also in 2 stages. First, the C drive, it went completely full because it was a very small, very old solid state drive, and I decided to get a new one, so I cloned the old one onto the new one, and by some weird quirk of fate, look at this shot. Yep, Warsick still got it. Yeah, by some weird quirk of fate, both disks got jumbled, so I had to do a complete reinstall of Windows, which, being as my internet connection is still only over the cellular network, the 4G network. It was a bit taxing downloading everything. I haven't even downloaded World of Tanks PC yet because it's such a sizable file, or game, just not a file. Well, anyway, but I'm back in business. We're still hitting shots, and yeah, that's a sniper mission completed with the nerfed Borsig. Can't complain. And another kill.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Yeah. As I said, I'm hoping I'll be able to put videos back out more regularly now that the computer is back up and I'm starting to get at least a bit settled in my new job. And 1,022 damage dealt to the Borsig in the back. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, this gun still got it. It's nothing like a derpy Soviet gun. It's still it's a derpy German gun, which is something completely different. And this shot was never gonna hit, was it? No. Well, it was a shot most tanks would have struggled with. Anyway, it's time to start moving because the Reds are starting to gain a lot of capture points, even though we have retaken one of the bases they had, and we now have 2 bases. Let's just see here. I'm gonna push up behind these big ugly Soviet heavies and take out one of them, which of course gives us capture point advantage. Here comes other bigger and uglier Soviet. Now I'm just my goal here is don't get penned by high explosive. I can most likely survive. Yep, I survived AP round because I had the hit points for it, barely, and he landed it on my tracks because I turned sideways, which is actually almost the only thing you can do with the armor of these German tank destroyers. You hope they hit the tracks, because then at least it won't be a full high explosive penetration. And we finish with 5 kills and 1,000 capture points, 4,228 damage, and first class. So yeah, I think it's safe to say the Borsig is still a good tank. This was played the day after the nerf. I think it was 15th, possibly a short while after at least. Next, we've gotten 2 new French lines: the TD line, which sucks, and the light tank line, which also sucks. I'll elaborate. There are some hidden gems in the TD line, like the bathtub that's actually has a crazy DPM gun. But yeah, I think the tier 7, it's like of course the tier 6 is completely useless in my opinion. It's a tank made for drowning yourself in. That's all. The tier 7 is like a Jagged Panther that lost all its armor and some of its gun accuracy. And then there's tier 8 here, which is I think we can comfortably put it in the same class as the SU-101, which is yeah, I have a bit mixed feelings about that, because they're tank destroyers, but they have absolute rubbish DPM. On the other hand, they have very good mobility, or not very good, but better than heavy tank, approaching medium tank levels of mobility. It's heavy mobility, I think it's safe to say. And it's look at these slow-moving missiles over here, or shots. Or the gun is nothing to write home about. What this tank has, it has idiot-proof armor, which isn't to say that it's very good armor, because it's armor that is good against idiots only. Well, of course, against an IS-6 at long range, it's good even if the IS-6 player is good, because it has such an inaccurate gun. The point I'm trying to make here is the front slab of armor, upper plate, is actually quite decent. It's a thick profile. Unfortunately, yeah, right above it there's a rangefinder and cupola, and those are made of I guess some rather beefy cardboard or something like that. And yeah, anyone that carries an AP round can pen it comfortably. And if you look at the turret at the far back of the tank, that's made of paper, very thin paper, I think, like that stuff they print Bibles on. No, jokes aside, it's 20 millimeters thick, which means everyone you meet, if they care to aim for it, can pen it with high explosive rounds. So I'm trying to hide it as best I can by using my gun depression to the most, and also wiggling and jerking while going back, because then I can prevent my front rangefinder thing to get penned. As you can see, if you're playing against people who have a tendency to panic in brawling situations, you can safely push on them, and they will, if they're PC players, they will lock auto aim on you, and then you're golden, because then they will shoot at your gun mantlet, and you can just push them away. And I'm a bit annoyed at these little running tanks, which are killing my team. Where for every tank we kill, we lose one. And there we go. And then we're 1 against 1, and the other tank is a stupid fast T-49A, which is of course mobile as the AMX-48 is. It's no match for a light tank, any light tank. Just trying a bit of a cheap shot there. It was never gonna go in. Only thing about the mobility of this tank that makes it stand out in this contest is that it cannot be COD'd. It actually has enough traverse to keep the T-49 in front of it. And now I just have to try to guess where the T-49A went, because I cannot afford to let him get behind me. And he is behind me. So we're traversing as fast as we can. He misjudges how fast we can traverse. We dunk that shot. And luckily we managed... He may be a PC player, because a lot of these T-49As were played by PC players. And so if he has auto-aim locked on, joke's on him. He cannot pen me through the front with auto-aim. It's just impossible. And here, doing a trick, I'm making him think I'm gonna continue around, and then I swivel around and take his shot, and there we go. That's all she wrote. Look, he's trying to get around me, but we're just that little bit faster than him. And he's bouncing us again, and now we just need to bump him like that, and he's gone. So, you can see this tank can perform, but if you come up against anyone with like another tank destroyer with proper DPM or a good gun, or if you come up against someone who knows to aim for your massive big weak spots, then you're toast. You're useless. Then you better be hiding inside some bush and hoping no one see you. Okay, that's how far I've gotten in the TD line. Here is the battle from the light tank line. It's tier 5, the ELC BIS, which is... It's a frustrating tank. It doesn't have fully rotating turret. It's a very fast tank, but it's also frustrating and a bit interesting. It's like a mix. I'm not a big fan of it. I know some people really love it, but if it only had an autoloader gun, it would have been a lot more fun. Because playing hit and run in its current state, it means you get a one hit, a 75mm round, I guess, and then you have to relocate, and relocating takes time when you don't have a turret. You can't run away and stop to fire. You have to run away and then turn around and fire. It's very frustrating in my opinion, and so this tank is not a favorite of mine. I'm currently only up to tier 7 in this line. It's what is this guy shooting at me with? Some kind of stock gun? Well, I was saying, yeah, I'm up to tier 7, and the tier 7 is actually the first tank of the line that I enjoy, the AMX 1375. And the thing is, the reason I enjoy it, it's reasonably small and mobile. It's nothing as mobile or small as the AMX you're seeing here, but it's reasonably small, and most importantly, it has an autoloader that empties its clip quite fast. And that's not something we're used to seeing in Blitz. It really isn't. I think it's not emptying it as fast as the Cherry. It's because the Cherry can just like tap all 3 shots out. The 1375 is a little bit slower, but it's better than most autoloaders, and it's also quite decent in its full clip reload. So it's getting good DPM, and that's the first tank. The first tank of the line that is both a carry tank and an enjoyable drive, in my opinion. Because you have, like, the duck tank is of course a carry tank. It carries like a Matilda. It literally carries like a Matilda by its armor. But it's not enjoyable in my opinion. It's a frustrating experience. It's so slow. And the 1375, it's fast enough to be enjoyable, and it has the DPM to carry, and the clip, the alpha. No matter what I do here, my team is dying around me. I cannot step into the way to absorb any damage for them because I have very few hit points and I have absolutely no armor. So I will just have to try to be sneaky But no matter how much or how fast I damage the Reds, my team is managing to die faster. And in this battle you will see some weird shit. I kid you not. There is some weird shit. Notice I'm now a one shot for a 75mm gun. Notice the next hits against me. Let me trying to COD a tank without having a turret.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh no, there's another tank coming. And we bounce one. And we bounce another one. Can you believe that? This tank has absolutely no armor. Absolutely no armor. And we get that Chaffee got low roll 146, which was exactly just too low to kill me. And we're 1 against 1, and yeah, my luck is run out because he has full health. He can just drive towards me. I cannot turn away and run away from him and shoot. I try to sneak around him, and I try to trick him into taking a shot at where I was by turning back, and no. All the tricks in the book weren't enough because he wasn't a complete fool, unfortunately. So it's a loss. It's a very annoying loss. It's a first class, 2,325 damage and 5 kills, and it's a loss. That's enough to drive me crazy. It definitely is. Next up is a strategic bit, because damage, kills, yeah, it's all good, but it's not everything. Especially if you're in a tank with a completely rubbish gun and a decent armor profile, then often just by being at the right place, you can help your team tremendously. And as you can see in this battle, we're at the canyon map. I'm in the useless tank, the 112, with the useless gun, and yeah, this is another tank that works particularly well against people who don't know to aim. Anyway, it's I'm low tier, and I'm thinking, how can I best affect this battle? I'm going with the team, of course. Going solo with this tank would be completely a waste of me, because if I got to the other side, if the Reds were there, they would kill me. If the Reds weren't there, what should I do? Try to snipe across the map with this atrocity of a poorly made Chinese replica of a poorly designed Soviet gun? No, that's not that's not how we win the battle. What we do is we push on the flank, on the short flank, I call this. I don't know if this is a term that already exists, or if I'm making it up, but if I'm making it up, I have already done it a long time ago, and I think it's the perfect description of what I'm doing here, because I'm not taking any long flanking runs. If I did that, I would, if I was properly flanking, I would look. T32, he is forced to divide his attention and his armor between me and the guys at my right. Yeah, if I was properly flanking, same with this guy, I would have gone through the island in the center, or all the way in the back, left. But I didn't. I just went around the nearest obstacle, which is it's kind of the best way to flank with a slow tank, because then you don't waste your time driving around the map while your team is getting killed, and you can still get the same effect as by being on the long flank. You force the Reds to divide their attention, and I love this gun. If it had enough pen to go through anything, I wouldn't have to aim for the weak spots, and if it had enough accuracy to hit weak spots, I could actually do some damage. But yep, this gun is like that. But we have won this game. I was early on the flank. The T-32 and the IS-8, I think it was, they were both forced to divide their attention. Both got taken out quite easily because they had to turn the most solid side of their turret this way or that way. And so they were easily penned by my team while they were looking at me. And there goes the rest of the red team, and it's a complete walkover. It's steamrolling, and I only did 1k damage, but I think my actual contribution to the victory was very decisive. Maybe we would have won if I didn't do it, but it was in part leading to the decisiveness of the victory. That's at least my opinion of it. You feel free to disagree if you want to, but this is my how to win doing 1k damage. So, thanks for watching, and I'll be back real soon with some more videos, and see you. Bye.